It's live? Is it? No. Yeah, there we go.
Yay!
Hey
Hey,
everyone, welcome to comicspriceguide.com presents Tales from the Geek. I am Aaron the Mechanic.
I am B the Dova Queen.
I'm just Bobby. Good to see you all again.
Yes, and we
Hello.
got news and we got comics and we got the gang.
Yeah.
We have all three
Yeah.
news,
Hey.
comics, and the gang all
Yep.
Yeah.
together.
All three.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
you got some good news going on, B?
We do. We have a lot of news.
Ooh.
Lots of good news, I think. Really positive news out of the last
Okay.
week. So we're going to start it off with,
They
I
were
think,
not.
everybody's.
They were busy during Thanksgiving break.
They were. I honestly
Yeah.
think people hold on. Well, I kind of work in media. People hold on to things
Yeah.
and then drop it. During.
Release it
Oh,
at
we
the
have
right
Black
time.
Friday
Yeah.
and Cyber
Yeah,
Monday.
because
Mhm.
people, it's more visibility. So we do have a lot of good news. So first off, Wednesday, the Addams Family news spinoff that's on Netflix has broken Netflix records. It has literally equaled Stranger Things 4, which is crazy.
Wow.
I honestly adore the spin. I think that Jenna Ortega, who's playing Wednesday, is
Oh,
just
she looks so
awesome.
great. Yeah.
Christina Ricci is apparently a teacher in this, which is
Yeah,
like really
it's
cool. They brought her
no,
back.
I
I've
love when
heard
they
great
do that.
things.
Like they take people
Mhm.
from the originals and like sneak them in different
Yeah.
areas. It's so fun.
That's always entertaining as
Absolutely.
heck. Yeah.
It's so fun. And then you have Tim Burton actually doing it. So you
I
can
I know.
definitely see like
I
his
haven't
magic
gotten
touch.
I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but I've heard such good things, so I'm
Mhm.
excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
definitely looking forward to watching.
Yeah. Let us know
Mhm.
if you guys are watching it yet, if you've seen it yet.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
you're
Absolutely.
excited. That sounds like something Voodoo. I don't think Voodoo's on yet, but that sounds like something she'd be interested in for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't
totally.
sound like it's true horror to me, but it would definitely fit far enough for Voodoo's taste.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chad
Chad,
says
thanks.
Wednesday is great. I like
Glad to hear it.
Wednesdays too, Chad. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was gonna throw something at the screen. Not. This is the problem with not doing live shows anymore. I can't
Yeah.
throw things at you anymore.
It's true. Well, the show also stars Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman.
Yes.
So really cool cast, and it goes back to the family's a Latino family, and
Yes.
it goes back to
So
their
excited.
roots.
Mhm.
And Luis Guzman looks like the original, like well, and actually
Absolutely.
so does Catherine Zeta-Jones. Like they look like
Didn't they
source material.
actually do an Addams Family movie at some point?
They
Am I crazy?
No, there was an animated one, and that's with I think Nicole Kidman was the voice of Morticia, and the voice of Gomez was I think
you know
no,
what? Catherine
it was-
Zeta-Jones just fits Morticia so perfectly.
Sorry, my dog is squeaking in the background.
Yeah, she
was
just
like,
fits it
what
so
is
perfectly.
that?
I just assumed
What's
she had
that there?
actually done it before. But yeah, no, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but super cool cast. I'm excited to see it, and glad that Chad says it's great. I'm definitely gonna check it out. So again, apologies for my dog. Fuck her.
Rex!
Go get. So moving on, we have the new Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special has also dropped on Disney Plus to really rave reviews. Everybody loves it. We also have our first look at Kevin Bacon in it. It looks really great.
It's so we started it. We didn't end up watching it because we ended up watching The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. But we actually started it. It's so fun. It's really fun. Just the opening scene is hilarious as well. So
How deep into MCU am I? Because with most holiday specials, I don't actually have to watch anything else. I've watched the first two Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you think I could watch this on its own?
No, the way that it picks it up, it's more just like here's this weird holiday that like Earthlings celebrate Christmas, and then like goes into it. So I think you'd be fine.
Okay.
But the song at the beginning, it is Chad. It killed me. It's so funny.
Okay.
Too good. Yeah, so go ahead and check that out. I'm going to be probably watching it this weekend when I'm like cozy with a fire or something.
Yeah,
So.
we got to put up our. We always do Mariah Carey Christmas album and put up Christmas decorations. So after that, then maybe cuddle down and watch it because we did start it, but then I promised the Grinch. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gang's all here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So put that on your docket if you haven't watched it yet. Moving forward, we also have a new trailer for the Super Mario's movie. Yay, Lady Lily.
Yes. Hey.
Yes. So that dropped today. So the directors are Aaron Hovarth and Michael Jelenic. So they were on Teen Titans Go, and the Teen Titans movies. So if that's your thing, go ahead and check that out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And big news from Disney. If you are a fan of the Disney parks and how Disney does in general, it's pretty big news that Bob Iger came back this week as CEO. Bob Chapek is out. Under Bob Chapek, a lot of kind of
questionable
things. No, I didn't want to say outright nefarious, but
there's an argument for it.
Yeah, Genie Plus was introduced, making people pay extra in order to even reserve what park they were going to. Cast members aren't getting paid as much as they used to, and they start off at a lower rate with more hours. And there's just some questionable things that have kind of happened since Bob Iger stepped back. He's back. He met with basically all Disney employees saying, hey, I just got back. Not making any promises. I'm going to assess from top to bottom what's happened. But that he has been in the fan position since he retired initially. So now he has a different perspective. With him. So
and he's like, news. That's why I must come back.
Exactly. So yeah, hopefully some of that like magic kind of comes back too.
Is it a prerequisite that your first name must be Bob?
I think so.
Yeah, it must be.
Has to be.
I think that's
you're either Bob or Walt.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they had another Walt? Yeah. Disney stock has been climbing since this was announced. People are just very, very excited to have him back.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So he was welcomed back with open arms for sure.
And the fans like it too.
Or Roy. Actually, good point. Or Roy. So, Indiana Jones 5, we got a couple of new pictures. We have Harrison Ford coming back, reprising his role, and Phoebe Waller-Bridges from Fleabag, if you watched Fleabag, will be playing his goddaughter. So he is passing the torch to like a female adventurer. No Shia LaBeouf that I saw, but still
that's
really exciting.
For the best.
Is this set in the modern day or is it set in the past?
No, I think it's set. I think it's set in like the 70s.
Set in the future, like Bobby.
I mean, okay, I shouldn't say modern day, but like they're like, is it past when 4 occurred, or is it?
Oh, totally. Totally.
Okay.
I think it's like 10 years after the fact of
the
4th one.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But they've promised 1960s. Thank you. I was like, I think it's the 60s or 70s, but I said 70s because I wasn't positive. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a much better movie with a lot less alien weird stuff and more like
the aliens were great.
That was the worst movie. I'm so sorry. But anyway, excited for that to come. A couple more things I wanted to touch on. Walking Dead Network. AMC is having some major problem. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. Some major problems. They're doing massive layoffs, and the CEO just left.
Oh, wow.
So that seems like there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that a lot of...
Well, I wonder with Walking Dead, with them being done, you think is...
Yeah.
Well, it seems that the shift to higher quality TV streaming has slowed them down. And I don't think that, I don't know, AMC Networks doesn't really have a space in like streaming zeitgeist for themselves, I suppose, so that might be a part of it. Booker's back with his squeaky toy. So anyway, that's interesting. We'll see how that unfolds. But I know that this Tales from the Geek fan base has a lot of skin in the game for The Walking Dead, so I thought I'd mention lots of things are moving there. But also, if you missed it, I'm switching to another new topic. If you missed it, Top Gun Maverick will be back in theaters one more time So starting on
Really?
December 2nd to December 15th, if you missed it the first time, go ahead and check it out. It will be in theaters again. It's definitely one to watch in the theater. You know, it's just a big, fun, bombastic, plain movie. So go
Gotcha.
ahead
I
and
missed it the first time around. Did you guys end up watching it? Yeah,
I did.
You did.
I did.
missed that. I need to watch that.
Mhm.
So.
It was definitely a Top Gun movie. So,
Yeah.
like, if you like the first one, you're gonna like this one. I think. I like that Bobby laughed at me.
I just
that's
the way
your
you
stuff.
phrased that. The way you phrased that just made me smile.
Well,
I mean,
it's like
it is
like
what
that's
it
what it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Top Gun movie.
You know
It's
what it's gonna
bombastic.
be when you walk in.
Is it realistic? Probably not, but that's okay. It's a Top Gun movie. It's Booker making an appearance. So, also, so lots of news coming out from the DCU universe. So we all know that James Gunn has now been made like showrunner, so to speak, of all of the DC
Movies.
films, basically.
Yeah.
So he has come out and said that DC is going to make some games that are going to be connected to the film universe now. So it's kind of taking a unique step kind of back to like what we did in the aughts of like, hey, the game is now referencing the movie and backwards. I think it's kind of a really cool thing. And I like to imagine like, oh, what if the newest Spider-Man Miles Morales game was like tied to a Miles Morales movie? You know, like that really kind of idea. Very like what we did in the aughts. So
instead of separating it out explicitly like we have been in Marvel's side for a while.
Exactly.
It's so much more fun whenever they are connected though, because
I mean, I remember Amazing Spider-Man. Those games were fantastic.
Totally.
The Spider-Man video games and the Amazing Spider-Man video games, just fantastic games.
Oh, awesome.
Not to say that Spider-Man, the recent one, hasn't been good, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I loved the first and second Harry Potter games, and they were actually very good for their time.
Oh yeah.
They didn't age because nothing from PlayStation 1 really aged, but it was really good for the time. And then I think it started falling apart when it was cheapened a little. But I think there could be some fun promise with
could
that.
Definitely be something good.
Yeah. So that is my news for the week.
That's some great news. You're right. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. We want your friends to become our friends and our friends to be your friends. Make it a big old happy family. Michael, Palpatine will always return, it seems. Have we learned? Or how Fortnite announced that.
Oh my gosh.
I do know. I did see.
I think I know who's playing Uncle Fester.
And I definitely saw him in a trailer, and it looks great. Yeah.
So I hope they are planning something big. Uncle Fester's like my favorite part of the movies. I love him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd, perfection.
All right, next up. All right, we've got comics this week. Honestly, this week, you guys, was kind of light. I had to pull deep for
because they're getting ready for the holidays in the next few weeks, you know?
Yeah. Some of them are gonna shut down for the holidays. Some of them are gonna go into overdrive for the holidays. But overall, that makes this week very light. You can actually even see it right now. That's Alpha. You know, I don't particularly like showing Alpha and Omega stories, but this one's actually pretty decent because this is, Avengers Assembled. It is the capstone to Jason Aaron's era of Avengers, and he's been doing some really interesting stuff with all of Avengers recently. So we've had Avengers Forever, and the Avengers of 1 million BC. And all of those have just kind of like really talked about, like, changed how the Marvel Universe works to some degree or another. The mightiest heroes of all Earths are assembling as never before for a battle beyond all imagining. A war that will take us from the prehistoric beginnings of an Earth under assault by the greatest villains who've ever lived to the watchtower that stands at the dark heart of all and the always. There is an army of unprecedented evil who now rises. The biggest Avengers saga in Marvel history begins here. So, I mean, like, these are all been big names in the Avengers titles recently, so I'm very excited to see what's going to happen and where we're going to go with it.
Love it.
Yeah,
Cool.
but like I said, it is an alpha, so this is kind of just starting the big overarching story here. So, yeah. Next up, we have Planet Hulk World Breaker. Millennium. This is actually set 1,000 years from now on the planet Sakaar. A young woman with green skin searches for the legendary Green Scar to help save her brother from a group of apocalyptic cultists. But which Hulk will she find? And after all these years, is he truly the Sakaar son who will save us all, or the World Breaker who will destroy us? It's an expansion and culmination of the mythos of Sakaar and the Heart of the Hulks. Greg Pak, the original writer of Planet Hulk, will be coming back to write all of this, and the artist Manuel Garcia, who did Devil's Reign, is doing our art. So, Planet Hulk has a deep love in the fandom. So I'm definitely excited to see where this will go.
Are those
Sentinels? Those definitely look like Sentinels to me. And this looks like either magic formula or high-tech gibberish. One or the other.
Why not both?
It could be both. Let's be fair.
It's high-tech.
They're not that far away from each other in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where this is going to go and who we're going to see. Next up, this is John Stewart, Emerald Knight. He has been trapped in the dark sectors for months with the rest of the Green Lantern Corps. But with the power of the Godstorm at his disposal, John is using everything he can to take down Isak, the mad new god, and bring his fellow corpsmen home. John will need to become something new to win the war against Isak. He will need to become the Emerald Knight. So, this cover is pretty good. There was another cover with him just with the sword. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. If he just wields his own lantern, instead of just, using the lantern for power, but instead just, I turned the lantern into a sword, now I beat people to death with it, I'm excited to see what happens there.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what, those fight scenes look like.
Exactly.
What's his form with the sword?
Exactly.
I'm good.
Next up, Magic the Gathering. It's a bit controversial right now. Wizards has been making choices with the game, but that does not change the fact that the Magic the Gathering lore and universe is fantastic.
Oh yeah,
really great
like
stuff.
Choices, Bobby. Just some weird choices, company choices or game choices.
Company choices.
Okay. Company choices.
I was like, are you talking about game
company choices that are affecting the game? Let's go with that. Yeah.
They're looking for their money.
Yeah, but they're not doing a good job of bringing new people in, and instead they're just not important.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite authors, Sheena McGuire, is actually doing the writing from this. She's come back. This is not her first time in this universe with Boom Studios working on Magic. She is telling a new story, and Fabiana Mascolo, who has done Firefly and Cyberpunk 2077 Blackout, she's bringing Nahiri the Lithomancer. Nahiri the Lithomancer is a great character. She's a lot of fun. She is the protector of Zendikar. And if you haven't been to Zendikar in the Magic universe, what have you been doing? It's great. But she is known as the Harbinger, and she has protected her home plane for centuries. But her ruthlessness and terrible deeds are kept in check by her strong sense of justice. But nothing is decided, and there is something coming that may change how the entire multiverse views her. And this story, at the very minimum, tells, at least before she was truly the Lithomancer of Zendikar 60,000 years ago. That's when she started protecting Zendikar specifically. While she was still wandering the plains as any other planeswalker, we're going to get to see some of that, and then there's more that's going to come later in her life. So, yeah.
It looks like a key or something is in that crack between her foot and the sword.
Oh,
what is that?
Yeah.
Is that important?
Could be. That? Oh, I think that's an artist signature.
Oh, never mind. Dang it. I got excited. I was like, did I see something special?
Oh my gosh. I thought so too, B. I was like, what is that?
It looks like a key stuck in the dirt. No, it's the artist signature. JK.
Okay, but
Still
no,
super
yeah,
important.
still super important. That is very true.
Arguably more so.
Absolutely. Next up, coming out of Antarctic Press, famous for Gold Digger, we are getting Penguina.
So formal.
Sent to a dimensional portal ship and landing in the Antarctic as a baby, Penguina is found and raised by Samurai Penguin. Leaving to see the world once she's grown, she finds out she has the ability to mimic powers of any comic character if she reads the comic for only an hour.
This sounds like a 12-year-old came up with this.
I know. I love it.
Okay, so she's a girl and she lands like in a penguin world, and like she can read any comic for like an hour, and then she becomes like their superhero.
Yeah, are we sure we want to do an hour, B? What about 30 minutes?
Okay, that sounds more apt.
No, it needs to be an hour.
No, it has to be an hour. You don't get it. Probably Erin gets this better than anybody. She's got X.
Absolutely.
I feel like the X created this. Right?
Yes, I think so. I really do.
I love it. Like Gold Digger is hilarious. Oh, to keep a low profile, she takes the secret identity working as an intern at a comics company. Truly, this is a comic made for comic nerds. I love it.
That's really.
That means she can know what comics are coming down the line. So that way she knows what she wants to read.
She can make suggestions for new characters for her own powers. I can't go wrong, right? This is hilarious. Honestly.
Oh my.
Tommy Butler.
She's got coattails. Very formal.
Gold Digger, for all of its silliness, is also surprisingly well written in an interesting storyline. So I'm actually intrigued to see where this will go. But like at the same time, this is the premise you're starting me off with. What can I do with this?
Literally Antarctic Press. So meta. So I love it.
All right. Getting slightly farther away from meta, but deeper into comics lore, Archie Comics is publishing Bob Phantom again.
Nice.
Haven't you ever heard of Bob Phantom? That famous superhero from before Archie Comics was Archie Comics? Honestly, this character has not been around so long. He is probably in public domain. Nobody has actually been able to make a ruling on it yet.
Wow.
But he's fun. He's literally just thank you, Leroy. Thank you, Leroy. He's fun. He is in this version of him, he is failing to aid a dying criminal in order to get a more gripping news story. Burgeoning journalist Walter Whitney not only gains national acclaim, but the attention of the ruthless global crime syndicate. Now he must go from mild-mannered reporter to Bob Phantom, a heartless ambulance chaser and even hardened crime fighter by night. It's Nightcrawler meets Spider-Man in a brand new take on a classic character, honestly. So Bob Phantom in the Archie comics way back in the day was a fairly standard superhero. He had some teleportation, some telekinesis, did some fun stuff. He had about 25 issues. And then DC took another version of this character and used the name when they had licensing rights to all of Archie's characters, and wrote a concept very similar to what just happened, where he's trying to get an interview with another superhero, the Comet, and to do that, he literally dresses up as a superhero, takes a paintball gun and a grappling hook, and goes, "Hey, let's talk." And Comet's like, "Okay, cool. Well, I guess we can talk. That's fine." And then they actually have to deal with supervillains, and he's all like, "I am not qualified for this."
An accidental vigilante.
And he becomes an accidental superhero because he manages to save the day that one time.
I feel like that's just tripping forward in life, right? That's imposter syndrome. We're all heroes.
Yeah.
And then, tragically, the entire comic imprint ended on DC's side before we got any more of this concept. So I don't know. It's fun.
That's a Paul Rudd movie waiting to be made.
Exactly.
It really is. That's a great call.
So Archie Comics is actually taking their character, but using the concept from another character, It's crazy. A lot of fun to be had overall. Not to say that the first Bob Phantom wasn't also a journalist. He was, but, you know, fun stuff. Yes. Next up, our next two titles, they are considered to be mature titles. First up, we have My Bad. This is a sequel series to the previous one. It is a hilariously offbeat superhero comic from IGN with the creative team of Mark Russell, Bryce Ingman, and Peter Krause. And between the three of them, they have done Irredeemable and Second Coming, both great titles.
Is that Gollum on? Is that Gollum on that Iron dude's head?
I think that's more. I don't know. Geriatric Tarzan is what I'm getting off of that. Not gonna lie.
I want to know why the KFC Colonel Sanders is on the shirt.
Is the Hulk? Because he seems to be the Hulk as well.
Yeah. And then the Pope, the Monkey Pope.
Monkey Pope.
What's happening here?
Someone is killing capes, or would be if they were better at it. Will the Crisis draw the crime-fighting Chandelier out of retirement? And then, in addition, Emperor King adopts a new costume identity so he can get a date. I don't know, man. It's silly.
It sounds funny.
It does sound very funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, Lily, you may want to read this. Plush.
I agree with Leroy, though. Most pictures are worth 1,000 words, but that picture was worth way more. 100%.
Very true. And then Clayton, no kids.
Most of them questions. Right. Thank you. That is very true. That is very true.
Yes.
So, plastic and vinyl creators Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard are back with this series Plush. They have recruited the colorist extraordinaire Rico Renzi for their disturbing neon horror spin on serial-killing cannibalistic furries and bizarre love. I'm just going to give you that phrase. That's really all you get. No.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Honestly, no. Our main character, Devin Fulcher, is coerced into attending a furry convention, when he accidentally happens upon a group of furries devouring a person. The insanity begins. Do they just want Devin for dinner, or something much more wicked?
Wow.
I don't know what's more wicked than being eaten, but apparently Daniel Hilliard and Doug Wagner want to tell me.
Imagine your last moments. You're being killed by like furries, and then it's like, oh no, this is like Five Nights at Freddy's come to real life.
Exactly.
This is how I die.
Here's the thing. Not gonna lie, furries get a bad rap overall. Like,
okay, it's funny that you say that. Channel 5 News on YouTube. It's very explicit, so adults only.
Okay.
No kids watch it, but that. Andrew, the guy who runs this like news station, goes to actual conventions and stuff with like a mic and interviews the real people and gets to know them. And he goes to a furry convention and really learns like there's different facets to it.
Oh yeah.
But overall,
absolutely.
It's just a place to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Like,
yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I've met furries. Most of them are great people. Some of them are terrifying. Don't get that. That is very fair.
That's the basis of this comic's appeal. Yes,
yes, exactly. Exactly. Is that some of them are terrifying, and is that terror? Could we push that? How far can these people? I don't know. Horror comics, guys. You know me. I'll take a look at it, but you know, it's so bright and colorful, and this was the darkest cover I could find, and like most. Explicitly, like, this is probably not a good thing, and also probably the safest for me to show on the internet. Not gonna lie.
Fair.
Yeah, the other choices were not good.
Understood. Say no more.
Yes, but yeah, honestly, like I said, I was digging for this week. That is all I've got, you guys. So.
Well, those were interesting.
Yeah,
there's a fun week of comics.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like I said. You know what? For reference, DC Comics put out 7 different specials this week. So there's a bunch of annuals if you want to take a look. they're all, they're annuals. If you're not reading the main comic,
right,
it's sometimes hard to follow those. So
yeah.
Check it out. Well, thank you all for joining us this week, and we will see you guys live at 7:25 Central Time next Tuesday. If you are wanting to check out either some horror gaming or horror news on Saturday, go check out Voodoo Lily on Twitch if you're on Twitch. It's always a good time. I was there Saturday chatting with folks, and it's fun. And Bobby, it's not too scary, I promise.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And
maybe we just need to support Voodoo. Okay.
Yeah, you can verbally support.
I do verbally support, and I will put. You know what? I'll put it on a computer and have not be in the room. How about that, Voodoo? Do you want to? Just viewer count. I'll do that.
Yes.
Also, he just puts it on and runs away.
I would pay good money. I'd pay
to watch me do that.
Yeah. You could start your own channel.
Leroy says, "I'm not a horror fan, and I look forward to Voodoo streams all week."
Thank you very much, Ryan. Good to see you.
Rocks.
Good to see you.
Voodoo's the best.
Now I just got to go look up my Twitch password again.
I know it took me forever to finally get back into our Tales one. I was on my personal.
It's a nightmare. Twitch, what are you doing? I don't need 30 freaking characters.
It's hard to remember.
Alrighty,
well, we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone.